Hi. In this video, we'll see how we can perform a device control over ESP32 using the home Wi-Fi network. Remember, this experiment or this practice that I'm going to show you does not require any active internet connection. And if you just have a single Wi-Fi router, that's all you need. So let's see what is the concept and what we are trying to do here. The concept is very simple. What we are going to do is we are going to connect the ESP32 to a relay module, just like we have seen multiple times before. And then now we are going to connect the ESP32 for the first time to the network, that is to the Wi-Fi, which is the major purpose of using ESP32 at all. We are going to connect the ESP32 to our domestic Wi-Fi network, and a simple program written onto the ESP32 will convert the ESP32 into a kind of a HTTP server, or you can say a very mini or a very micro level HTTP server, which can serve an HTML page. The workflow will be very simple. So once ESP32 is connected to your home Wi-Fi network, it will act as a server. So whatever device is connected to a network, it will get an IP address, and this IP address can be accessed through any other device like phone or laptop connected to the same home Wi-Fi router. And you can open a browser here, put the IP address of ESP32, and you will see a page in the browser over here. That page will give you command or action to turn something on or off, or to turn a particular relay or LED on or off on ESP32. We are creating a demonstration circuit of a relay here, but I think you get the idea. If you can turn on a relay, you can turn on and off almost anything you want. So in short, ESP32 acts as a mini server here. It will serve a very small web page. You can take actions on this page, and in turn, you can perform the relay or LED control. In order to perform this experiment on Arduino using ESP32, what we need is we are going to need a particular library, two particular libraries, which needs to be manually installed. Remember, the libraries we have used before, they were all installed automatically using the library manager. But here, the libraries are going to be or needed to be manually installed. As far as the schematic part is concerned, schematic is the same one. We are using Adafruit Feather Huza 32, as you must have known till now. And we have a relay switching circuit, just like which has been shown over here. Exactly same, no change at all. And we have AC supply as well as a bulb connected over here. The two libraries which are required are actually embedded in this presentation also, and I have also given you the links for both of them. The library installation is actually very simple. Let me show you. So this is, let's say, a zip file that you will download, for example, from the link that I have provided. So when you extract this zip file, what happens is you will get a folder like this. This folder will have a folder in which all the libraries are present. All you need to do is copy this folder. So there are two libraries. One is ESP Async Web Server and another one is Async TCP. All you need to do is, let me show you that as well. So this one, let us extract to desktop. I'll show you both of them, how it works. So we have Async TCP here and ESP Async Web Server here. Remember, don't keep the library as it is like this. You have to use the folder which is inside it. So I'll just take that folder out here. I'll delete everything else. So these are the two libraries which we need to install. How? Let's see. Just copy the two folders and then go to your computer, go to the location where Arduino is installed, which is in Program Files, x86, Arduino, and here you'll find a folder called Libraries. If you look at here, there is a folder called Libraries. This is the old method of installing libraries before there was Library Manager. So simply put these two folders over here, and now you can run the code provided. So let me show you this code. For now, I would suggest you to not go into the details of this code. Okay, you can very well just use this code as it is for now, and then you may try to make changes according to what you need. For now, let me show you what are the changes that I'm doing here. So I'm going to use only one relay. Therefore, hash define num relays, this one parameter is only one. And I'm connecting that relay to pin number 12. If you look at my schematic over here, my relay is connected to GPIO 12. Therefore, I'm writing only this one. If you want multiple number of relays, just add it here and add those numbers over here. So without any further changes or delays, let's try to upload this code onto the controller and see the output. So I'm starting the upload here and I'll be explaining you the process for checking the output. So once you have done everything as suggested, all you need to do is you have to insert your Wi-Fi credentials into the program. So let me show it to you here. I'm currently inserting my Wi-Fi credentials over here, and you have to replace them with your credentials. Okay, so this is something I use. I am not hiding it at all because frankly I'm not worried you'll be coming to my home to steal the Wi-Fi. Now, for that matter, anything. So this is my Wi-Fi credential that I use. This is SSID. This is password. You need to replace these two things according to what you are using. After you replace the credential, upload the code, open serial terminal with a baud rate of 9600, check IP address assigned to ESP32 and open that address on phone or computer browser. Let me add one more step here. Reset the ESP32 after you open the serial terminal. Because sometimes what happens, you already uploaded the code and now if you start it, it will not start from the beginning or from the scratch. So let's change the baud rate to 9600. I will keep my camera open over here so it gives a better idea about what is happening. Okay, and now I'm going to push reset on my ESP32. Now once the reset, it is trying to connect to Wi-Fi, connecting to Wi-Fi, and now we got an IP address. Now there are two ways to do it. Let us see the one way which I guess most of you will like, that is using on a mobile phone. So what I'll do is I'll just open a mobile phone browser over here and I will enter the IP address. I guess you will be able to see that now. So it is 192.168.0.167. Okay, it's visible now. And now you can see I have got a page over here. Maybe you're not able to see it completely because a lot of camera issues. Okay, but let me get it here. No, it's not visible well. Now let's change it only to focus the phone. So there is a button here, on off kind of button. But now that we have seen the phone, let me try to open it on the computer screen itself. I have all the connections made and now I am also going to connect the AC cable, which will be useful to actually turn on or off the relay. And now let us open a browser. Doesn't matter which one you use. So I'll open Google Chrome, for example. I'll keep it over here in a very small window. 192.168.0.167. IP address, you see it here, and hit enter. Now see ESP web server. It's written over here. Relay number 1 GPIO 12. Can you see the difference? I think you may have also heard the relay ticking. So I just making this switch on and off, on and off, on and off, and the relay is starting. So this is Wi-Fi based. Okay, you can use that on mobile. Let's say I'm now trying to use it on mobile also. Let's see if I can see the difference. You can use it on mobile, you can use it on laptop, you can use it almost anywhere. Now I have turned it on my phone and it's off on PC. So even if you switch this now, it doesn't happen anything. And now you can turn it off from PC also. The original code is written by Rui Santos of Random Nerd Tutorials, and I have made changes to it to make it simplified, a bit more easier to understand. Now, when you want to add more things, let me add another thing, that is the on-chip LED. So that is at pin number 13. Then all you need to do is simply add those numbers over here into this curly bracket, and then write number of relays as 2, for example. And then in void setup program, all you need to do is you need to make sure you write the right set of pin modes for the pin that you are using. That's all you have to use. If you want to experiment a bit more, if you want to do a little bit of, do some exciting things or just make some changes into it, you can simply change this HTML code which has been served by this page. This is the part of HTML code. So I made changes to this H2 here. I made it Adafruit Huza 32 web server, and now let's upload it again. Let me open my browser once again. So it doesn't matter which one you use. 192.168.0.167. That's the page you get. But it's not changed yet because the code is still uploading, as you can see, or not even uploading, it is only in the compiling stage itself for now. Now it's uploading. Once the uploading is done, we will open the serial monitor almost immediately. Now it's connecting to Wi-Fi, connected, we got the same Wi-Fi IP address, and now reset this or refresh this page. Now you can see there are two different relays that is written over here. Although one of them is actually relay, but one of them will be LED. This LED is somewhere around here. Okay, this is the switch for it. I'm going to turn it on. Okay, and now I'm going to turn it off. So this is happening over Wi-Fi. There is no cable connection. Of course, there is a cable connection for power only and code downloading, but it doesn't matter. It's working on Wi-Fi. So this is my first relay. This is my LED. You can see it here. This angle is good. Both of them are visible. First lamp off, LED off. Lamp on, LED on. Lamp off, LED on. The only limitation with this kind of a project is, well, that's not a limitation, but it's working on the LAN. It's working on the local network. You can also definitely go on and connect things to internet, but the same code will not work when you want to control your devices over internet. It will be something else, it will be something different, and what it will be, we will definitely be looking in upcoming few videos. For now, I hope you must have liked this video. The code is given to you and the schematic is given to you in the presentation itself. Try it on your own and see for it yourself. Thank you for watching this video.